I think it'll start right now. I think we just started.
That was a good intro.
That was good, Mark. Nice job.
There's Jim's attempt at the intro this week for episode 19.
That's why Brent does it.
Yeah, well, we had to give him a chance, and he blew it, so it's over now. Maybe next time you can call it in, Jim.
All right.
So we have a ton of topics to talk about today, but nobody...
A ton of topics to talk about.
But
wait, I'm earlier.
Do you just want to do the show yourself?
Actually, aren't you going to welcome our guest back?
I'm not going to welcome anybody in this rate.
Whoa, we got the happy three there. Hey, Ed, welcome to the show again.
Well, thanks for inviting me again.
Hey, no problem.
Yeah,
everybody liked you, so we had you back. And again, hopefully we got at least one or two listeners from the Iron Warriors in Arizona after Jim capped Harley's last week. But Ed's here to represent.
Well, thank you very much.
Yeah, lucky you.
My name is Elvis.
Nice to have another Goldwing rider on the show.
God forbid we're serious and talk about real topics on the show.
Right. Brent drives around in a Power Wheels. Anyway, what's in your show notes there?
Power Wheels.
Oh, wait. We were supposed to remotely do the show from last week. We were supposed to go out to Brent's, crash the gate, tell the guards that they're nothing more than mall cops, and tell them to send the $500 bill to Brent. And that's why Ed basically wanted to get in on this. He was going to come down and be the third car, so it'd be a $1,500 bill when we all crash the gate.
That's a good deal.
Yeah.
Glad you didn't, because it really doesn't go to me. It goes to the homeowner, and then, they can take it up against, they lien their house.
So they would evict you.
Yeah, that's fine. That would be awesome. I mean, anything that leads to my eviction is cool.
Okay, good. Well,
I'm good with that. I'll come and live with you.
I think not. You can go live with Jim and his two dogs.
Just think how many times I'd get dinner every night, because, at 6 o'clock you eat.
Uh-huh.
You got a couple empty rooms now, right? Don't you?
Yeah.
Mark?
Plenty of space. Everybody moved out, couldn't stand him.
No, not for... I won't even let Brent drive into my street. I don't have a gate. I don't live in a gated community, Brent.
You won't let me drive down your street? Oh, you're in for something. I know where you live. I will drive up and down your street.
Oh.
You could call it into your local police department.
Yeah, with all the budget cuts, they'll be here in about 2 hours. All right, so what's with the show? Everyone's waiting for these safety tips we're supposed to be giving out.
Well, we have a bunch of news, and then we have a reader question that you guys failed to answer last time.
So we got to have two this week.
We have two? What's the second one?
No, I don't know. I just said we should have two. If there was one from last week, we should have at least one more.
Well, there isn't one more.
Oh, people aren't writing in.
Yeah, I think it's because of your attitude.
Ladies and gentlemen, please excuse Mark and Brent. They're both mentally challenged, but we are equal opportunity employers, so that's why they're here. Thank you.
We probably would have got more questions if Jim didn't offend all the Harley owners last week.
I would like to extend my condolences. Ed said that two of their riders went down at I guess it was a bridge toll plaza. They put their foot down, but the oil leaking from their crankcase, they fell over and they got a couple twisted ankles. I guess they're resting comfortably in ICU. So our hats are off to them, and speedy recoveries to you both.
Yeah, but you left the first part out, Jim, that there was a couple of Yamahas stopped there, which blew up, and that's where the oil was from, not the Harleys.
That was terrible comeback.
Yeah, it was better than nothing. Ed had nothing.
Well,
Ed's represented the group, and he had nothing.
I think Ed's smart if he just doesn't say anything at all.
Ed is probably sorry that he even joined the show so far.
Probably.
No, I think it's fun.
Hey,
all right, we'll go to what? A couple articles I got real quick, and then since nobody else has anything.
Yeah, I have 15 different topics to talk about. But
good, I'll go first. Thanks.
You go ahead.
Thank you.
You have the checkbook, right? You right away.
Oh, me and Jim wrote the book, but I have no idea where the money's going, or our bookkeeper called Brent is skimming the money.
Yeah, it sucks when you give somebody else control over everything, doesn't it?
That's all right. We'll come visit you in jail. Hey, talking about
what, the $6? Okay.
Speaking of skimming is really on the rise everywhere. It's become such a big
Skimmy
problem.
dipping?
I don't even know what skimming is, so why don't you explain what skimming is?
Well, I was trying to before everybody interrupted.
Well,
It's there's skimming devices. People are going to gas stations and bank ATMs, and they actually fit them over the regular ATM slots, and they look just like the regular slot you put your card into. And sometimes they have a camera nearby that'll pick up your PIN number, but it picks up the personal information, and there could be somebody with a laptop parked in the parking lot getting your information, and it steals the credit card and debit numbers, personal identification numbers. They make their own cards and they drain your account, and it's huge. They actually had some gas stations all across the Bay Area that had these devices put at the gas pumps, and it was a big group from Los Angeles that came into the Bay Area and put them on a bunch of different gas stations, and they rob people blind. They empty out their bank accounts, and you don't even know it until your account's empty. And they say one of the best ways to try to combat that is, instead of using the debit option on your card, is to use the charge option, and that way PIN numbers can't be tracked. But it's really a huge thing right now with the skimming. ATMs, gas stations, even the supermarkets, they've been found, because a lot of those are little remote devices right by where you pay, and people are replacing those and putting their card skimmers there, and it just rips off all the information. Here's another article from...
Whoa. Don't blazing through articles. Can we actually discuss that for a second?
Okay, let's discuss that. Brent, go ahead.
So how do you protect yourself from it?
Didn't I just say that? Were you weren't
Condoms
listening?
are recommended.
No. I mean, what do you think?
Hey,
every single person's some kind of ATM technician, and they're going to know what they're looking for?
Or
If
Ed's
you Google
dying
it-
to say something.
If you Google skimming on skimming devices with pics and look at Google on there, I was absolutely amazed at how professional the devices looked over the machines.
Looks just like it.
Yeah, you couldn't tell. And
Right.
I'm looking. What are they showing me? A regular ATM machine, or are they showing me a skimming device? And sure enough, it was a skimming device that they perfectly manufactured to cover the part of the machine where you put your card in. And I'm like, well, how the heck am I supposed to pick that out? But it's pretty impressive. I was really impressed that they're actually making devices that well made that you can't even tell.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
that's
those
scary.
I saw a YouTube video where they actually mounted one of these, those external lobbies that you go into ATMs. You have to use your card to get into the lobby itself of the bank, and then there's a ATM there sealed off from the bank. They actually installed one in this interior lobby of a bank itself. It was pretty scary.
And they'll record hundreds, and if not more, of cards, their PIN numbers. Once they have that information, they make their own cards, and they'll drain somebody's bank account in a matter of a day. You don't even know it until you start getting overdraft notices, and it's really scary what's out there. And that's why they say one of the options, some of them are obviously, if they feel really loose or something's wrong, don't use it. But they recommend using the charge option. You're a lot more protected. Your personal bank account won't get drained, whereas if it's a charge account, it could be disputed. But even then, you're liable for up to a certain amount. You got to report it right away. But the best thing is to check your statements regularly, whether it's your charge statements, whether it's your bank account. Go online, check them at least every other day. Make sure there's no unauthorized charges on there. And what I started doing is using my charge card as often as I can, rather than my bank card. The ATM one, I use the charge card, and I just make payments from my checking account to that. But you're a lot more protected that way.
Or you could do what I do.
Not
You don't
use
have
the
money
ATM.
Live paycheck to paycheck in poverty and never have enough money in the bank for anyone to worry about.
So
Yeah,
what
same here.
do you just cash it out at the the check cashing place, and just take it home as like dollar bills and stuff? Because that's really the
usually
safe.
rolls at quarters, but
Rolls of quarters. All right. So, anything else, Mark? I wouldn't.
Yeah. There's an article here, and this relates to at home also. This is just an article I came across today. 4 men failed in their attempt to rob a bank Monday morning when the bank's employee refused to unlock the door to let them in. 9:30 a.m., the 4 men approached the bank in the 3700 block of Lone Tree Way. The 4 wore black hooded sweatshirts and masks over their faces. One of the men displayed a handgun as they tried to walk in. However, the bank has a front door that can only be opened when an employee presses a button on the inside. After they could not get inside, the men jumped into a car and sped away. And this relates to your house too. A lot of people, the summertime's here. It's nice and warm. They leave their front doors open, windows open, especially when they sleep. And people go through, and Ed, being a former cop, this too. Some of the people, their job is during the night is to walk up to houses, try front doors, try windows. And just like this bank, if that door was left unlocked, they would have become a victim of crime. And if you leave your windows and doors unlocked, especially during the night, you're going to become a victim of crime. You got to take precautions. And, if you want to leave your windows open for ventilation, you get these little locks you could put on the sliding part of your window to where the window only opens an inch or two, and then it's jammed. You could stick a board in there to keep it from opening up. But most of the time, people come into the house in the middle of the night. It's because people leave their doors and windows unlocked. And in fact, just recently, there was a town nearby where they're warning people. People are climbing in windows and getting into houses in the middle of the night while people are sleeping and walking around, stealing stuff. And just, I don't know about you, but I'd be, thinking that someone was walking around the house when I'm asleep, and there's not a very comfortable feeling.
Shouldn't Ed be talking about this? Because isn't that his new job with the militia? Doing the breaking and entering and taking care of business?
No, I was just going to say, if I was a good-looking girl, I'd make sure I had my windows closed, but I'm not that lucky.
And I've just been leaving mine open, hoping a hot, cat bird will come in.
Oh, here we go.
So
some big
Brent's going to start talking about his cross-dressing activities.
Oh, back to that. That's like from episode 1.
I figure out why he never gets any takers outside his window.
Yeah, well, that's why I keep a board there so I can hit them when they come through.
On a serious note, where I used to work, next to Brent's gated community, we had a guy on parole in the middle of the night, and this started a crime spree that lasted for about a month and a half. And it was always like on Tuesday nights between midnight and, you could almost count on a call coming in all over different areas of the city. And it was this guy that would actually, he'd start walking houses, he'd park down the street, and like he owned the neighborhood, he'd go to dark houses, go to the back, and if there was an unlocked slide or anything, he'd walk right in. And the people sleeping in their beds would wake up to this 6'5" giant dude going through their dressers, and right away they'd sit up, and in a panic, the husband would say, "What are you doing?" And the guy would calmly turn around and look at them and say, "Leaving," and he'd just stroll out of the house. And then they'd watch him just casually walk down the street, and of course, by the time they pick up the phone and then the call comes to us, the guy's long gone. But
that's an awesome answer.
This guy, I'll never forget him. In fact, there's a chapter of the book written about him under cat burglars. But this guy, we ended up doing a sting and just got incredibly lucky and stopped his vehicle as he was leaving the town. And he had jewelry in the vehicle from like 4 burglaries prior, and he was a parolee. And I just told him, I said, "Dude, what are you doing? You take such an incredible chance on someone pulling out a gun and just capping your ass." And he looked calmly at me and he says, "Hey, it's a game." He goes, "It comes down to whether I'm better at my job or you're better at your job. Tonight you were better at your job." But he goes, it's a job. And he had no remorse, no emotion, no nothing. And I'll never forget what he told me about that. To him it was just a game. But I can't believe that some homeowner didn't pull out a 9 and just cap him, in the middle of the night like that. But this guy was just so blatant. It was incredible.
What's scary is when he gets out of jail or prison, he's going to do the same thing. They're going to revert right back to what worked for him. And it all, like I said, summertime is here. People like to leave windows open for ventilation. I don't care where you live, whether it's an affluent community or wherever, there is no Mayberry left. If you leave your windows open, you leave your doors unlocked, it's going to happen. You need to take precautions.
Hey, Jim, was that around the mid-'90s?
It was.
Yeah, so he's probably
he lived.
by now, right?
He lived right near the train trestle in your old town there.
Where are you saying? Yeah. Where are you saying, Ed? He's probably out by now.
Well, he probably is. California does sentence in 15 years, and you'll be out in 3 with good behavior.
Well, we'll give him Brent's address. Brent said he's been trying to get someone to climb in his window lately.
Well, Ed and Mark, you'll both know before they did the revamping downtown, but Remember when you went down Railroad and right before the train trestles, there were those shoddy apartments on the left, like 2-story blue apartments. That's where the guy lived. I think right near Central, somewhere. Somewhere there.
I think you're talking about my city. What? No, wait, that's my house. Wait.
Shoddy apartment? Yeah, that was it.
Shoddy dump. That's my place.
Anyway, I got another article here. This one here, woman shot in head. This was on the internet the other day. Linda Burnett, 23, a resident of San Diego, was visiting her in-laws, and while there, she went to a nearby supermarket to pick up some groceries. Later, her husband noticed her sitting in her car in the driveway with the windows rolled up and her eyes closed, with both hands behind the back of her head. He became concerned and walked over to the car. He noticed that Linda's eyes were now open and she looked very strange. He asked if she was okay, and she replied that she had been shot in the back of the head and had been holding her brains in for over an hour. The husband called the paramedics, who broke into the car because the doors were locked and she refused to remove her hands from the back of her head. When they finally got in, they found she had a wad of bread dough on the back of her head. A Pillsbury biscuit canister had exploded from the heat, making a loud noise that sounded like a gunshot, and the wad of dough hit her in the back of the head. When she reached back to find out what it was, she felt the dough and thought it was her brains. She initially passed out but quickly recovered. And the editor added that she was a blonde, a Democrat, and an Obama supporter, but that could all be a coincidence. but you know, I could see that's realistic. You hear a loud bam and you feel something hit your head hard, and you reach back and there's something gooey and slimy and you think it's your brains. So.
And then when you reach forward and you taste it and it tastes like dough, what?
Yeah, I bet she can never cook biscuits again without.
That was actually on MythBusters. They did a whole thing on that.
Did they really?
Exploding.
She's still married? Because that's the kind of girl I'd like to meet, like, you know, on a Friday night.
Well, here's another thing I saw on the news. It said woman was arrested.
I love you, honest.
Woman,
Anyway.
Hope you're listening.
Arrested for calling 911 5 times to find a husband. Now, if she had simply called Jim's dispatch the first time, she would have hooked up with Jim and they would have lived happily ever after. She never would have even been arrested.
Is her name Brittany?
Should be.
Should be. Yeah. So what's new in the big hot city, Ed?
It's hot. It's 103, well, only 104 outside, but other than that, it hasn't been too bad. It's actually been really, really nasty and humid because we've been having rains, or they call them monsoons here, but it's not really monsoons. It's just rain.
Naggy and humid?
Yeah, nasty and humid.
He is married.
Yeah, that's probably the word that's stuck in my brain there. Turn my head.
It's a bad combo.
Hey, so your new law is supposed to take effect here shortly, right? Is that still on?
Yes, from what I understand, yeah, they're still fighting it in court. I haven't.
Obama didn't win the lawsuit against Arizona?
Well, no, his hasn't even started yet. He hasn't started in yet. This is another one that they're going through. The federal judge is looking at it, though. She's actually, the way she broke it down in the article I read, she's taking it piece by piece. She's not taking the whole law and just tossing it out. There may be issues in the law like, okay, how do you determine whether or not he has papers? How long could you hold him until he proves he has papers or doesn't have papers? Things they didn't cover in the law, which are open-ended. You can have a guy in custody for 6 months trying to find out who knows, what. So there were some valid issues they were arguing about in there, but it doesn't look like the whole law is going to get thrown out itself. It probably will be, go into effect, which is good because we got about 15 other states that are going to start copying and following suit. But,
I've heard people make comments saying, hey, look, here driving around California, anywhere in the United States, you get stopped by a police officer, you have to show ID. You open up a bank account, you got to show ID. You buy an airline ticket, go to check in, you have to show ID. Everybody has to show ID. So why is it a big thing, for in Arizona to try to prove that you're a U.S. citizen when you get stopped?
I don't know. There's a lot of theories to why they're fighting it so hard. Is because if it actually passes and goes through here and works, every other state's going to do the same thing because everybody's pretty much fed up with the same issues.
Well, there's a few following pretty closely, I think, isn't it? Like Massachusetts and a couple other ones.
Yeah, there's I think a dozen or so that are actually watching real closely what happens. If ours goes through, they'll be following suit with almost carbon copies of our law, knowing that you can't beat it. Right. So you can see it sweeping all the way across the country, and I think that's what the original the people that are fighting it are worried about. Because if it happens here and starts sweeping across the country, and they're already writing articles that the illegals are fleeing the state, they're going to Pennsylvania. apparently Pennsylvania is a pretty popular state for illegals. I don't know if they're real pro-illegal or however that goes, but I've read several articles where they're all fleeing to Pennsylvania. Good for them, I guess, but they're out
Well, I
of here.
guess they can go to San Francisco also. What do they call themselves there? A
sanctuary city.
Sanctuary city, yeah.
Yeah. I saw that firsthand there right before I moved back down here. It's pretty disgusting.
Home of the Harley.
Hey, that Jim's hung on to that for 2 shows now. Normally grabs onto something new every show, but he's hanging on to that Harley.
Well, I heard the M word come out. I figured he's going to work me on that one.
There's an article in here that's talking about how Mexico is gearing up for this law, too. It's talking about how they're actually starting to put together shelters to prepare for the arrival of all the deportees.
Yeah, well.
Across the border, so.
When Ed's got stories with this, though, that a big drug dealer that Ed busted and got deported back, and he was back, within a day or two, Ed?
Oh, that's the guy who had $60,000 in cash in his trunk?
Yeah, I think he was back on U.S. soil before you finished the police report.
Well, it was almost as bad as that, if not worse. In 1988, before I got involved in law enforcement, he was caught going southbound on I-5 in California, and had $60,000 or $80,000 in cash in the trunk of his car. CHP asked him, where did he get the money? He says, I don't know whose money it is. So they confiscate the money and deport him to Mexico. And in less than 3 years later, he was back in Northern California in East County, and he owned 2 stores and two homes. And he was still illegal. Yet he was able to buy houses and homes and all that. And the guy, he probably had a 5th grade education. So something's wrong. Something's definitely wrong.
That's 1 year more than Brent has.
And that proves to me that we're all doing something totally wrong.
But yeah, the long and the short of it is I wound up doing a case on him when I worked narcotics, and the feds took it to Mexico. And the last I heard in 2004, from all things from a Mexican laborer that I was working with on a construction site who knew him in Jalisco down in Mexico, said, yeah, he's down there and he's afraid to come back. But he's still running his business. He's still running his business from down there, because he was bringing in hundreds of tons of, not tons, but hundreds of kilos of dope per month via there's a big nursery out there in that town that's south of the unincorporated area that they were muling the stuff in on trucks inside of plants and all that kind of stuff. And the guy was very successful. I was pulling garbage runs on his business where he was calculating millions of dollars at a time. Yet he was just in a little corner grocery store, so he was doing well for himself.
There's a lot of underground stuff going on. You hear about these people being deported, and they're back in no time, and they kind of laugh at it, saying, "Hey, I'll be back within a week. It's no big deal."
Yeah, it's true. It's a revolving door. Until we stop that door, this is not going to stop anytime soon.
Yeah, I mean the way I'm sure most of us look at it, if you came here legally, I mean immigrants are welcome. You come here legally, that's fine, but. If you're illegal here, my God, if you're illegal in Mexico, they have some strict stuff. If you're an illegal American in Mexico, I was reading some of the laws. You can't buy beachfront property. There's all kinds of stuff you can't do, and what's not allowed if you're, an American over there and you're there illegal. But I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see which way this Arizona law goes. If it's going to get thrown out, if it's going to stay intact, because I think that's going to really. Be what the future is going to hold, if states are going to follow or if they're going to back away from it.
It's going to force the feds to do something. Either they're going to give it a blanket amnesty across the board to everybody, or they got to do something because the states just can't take control of the immigration issue and run with it themselves.
Right.
It's a federal issue, so.
It'll definitely get uglier before it gets better, or or it gets finished. One of the two. Just trying to see if we had any other articles related to this, but I don't think we do. All right, so does that wrap up that mess? We'll move on to something else.
I think that wraps up that mess.
Okay, so this is interesting. Oakland, California just became the first city in the country to authorize large-scale industrial pot cultivation. So basically what they're saying is that they've authorized in their city limits to be able to have large-scale pot production for medical use. So I can't possibly see anything going wrong with this. So I'm just curious about some opinions on that. I mean, how does that affect the local police department?
Man robs bank in clown pants and fake breast. Really? That's in your show notes, Brent?
Why are you reading the show notes now when I just asked you a question?
It just caught my eye. That sounds really interesting.
How
We're
big
gonna
were the
get
breasts?
that's like 6 down from where we're at. Why don't you get there? When we get there, you can talk about it.
All right.
I'll
We'll
tell
wait
you,
till you get there.
just
I know-
a quick side note. I'm stuck on these ugly pictures that Mark sent me. It's called "There Are Worse Things Than Oil on the Beach," and I can't seem to delete this email. It's got some of the pictures of the most grotesque people I've ever seen in my life flopping around on the beach. I don't know if you got a copy, Jim. I just sent one to you, Brent.
No, Jim
Picture
took care of
number 4 is
that.
actually Brent on vacation.
Yeah, Jim actually took care of that. He just canceled his old email address and didn't give Mark his new one. That's how he took care of that email problem.
Why do we got to stop talking about the clown with breast?
We're going to get to that. You guys can talk all about it. I know that you don't get to say breasts a lot, so it's cool.
Well,
You
you
get to
just
see- you get to see a lot of them on the water.
you just covered the Mexico immigration thing, which is listed after the clown pants and fake breast. So
That's
your show
because
notes are all out of order.
I don't want to point it out, but that's because you didn't read the show notes. And
Let's do the
secondly,
clown.
started that.
Okay, let's take a vote. Who says the clown?
Can we just
Clown.
answer the question on the
Clown.
floor
What
right
about you,
now?
Ed?
Oh,
Ed, clown?
Whatever you got, I go with the majority.
Oh,
oh, so you're one of those.
I don't want to get kicked off the show.
Yeah, we know who voted for Obama now.
I do control that switch. So we're not talking about politics, remember?
Stop clowning around, you guys.
Okay, I say the clown with the breast sounds good to me for a minute.
Can we just answer the question I just asked first? Just
Okay.
once?
What was the question, Brent?
Large-scale production pot farming, Oakland, California. How's it going to affect the police departments? Local safety? Is it?
It won't. There's no cops in Oakland anymore. They
That
laid
is
them all
true.
off.
That is
Yeah,
true. So basically, they're screwed? Is that the answer?
Yeah,
The
and if they don't
citizens are.
pass the measure, if they don't pass the property tax increase of $368 a parcel, then they're going to lose another 122 cops in 2011.
And that would
Which
leave them,
basically
what, like
goes
6
down to
guys?
25% of their police force.
So is
Mark's
pot...
hiring.
They got one opening for sure.
Yeah, definitely. One for chief there for a while, too, but that's over. So is pot going to be legal this year?
I don't think it's ever going to be legal. I think restrictions are going to lighten up a little bit, but I don't think it's going to get to the point of being
You don't
legal.
think it's going to be legal and taxable?
I think they're so
don't think
desperate
so.
for tax money, they're going to go for legalizing. That's what the whole issue is. They want the money from the taxation, or they think they're going to get taxation money.
Yeah, but they're saying now, looking at projected, projections of legalizing it or not, they think it's actually not going to be as lucrative as what they first thought.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be on the fence on that one. I do not think it's going to be legalized, but I'm kind of on the fence on that one.
Hard to believe you'd be on the fence about anything.
Miracles do happen, Brent.
Wow, it's kind of cool in a way.
Mark's
All right,
such a clown.
so clown pants. There you go. So Swissvale, Pennsylvania. Authorities say Pittsburgh area man. Oh, maybe it's Pittsburgh. I don't know. What's PA? Pittsburgh. Okay, so
Pennsylvania.
California?
Pennsylvania. There you go. No. But that would be funny, wouldn't it? So a man robbed a bank wearing a woman's blonde wig, fake breasts, under a sweater, and clown pants.
What size were the breasts?
I
How
don't.
did it look?
I don't think it matters. I'm assuming it looked strange. So
Jim's getting a little excited when you read that description out.
So basically,
I'm on the
let's
edge
see.
of my seat right now.
It's the clown pants, huh? That's what did it. So Swissvale police say 48-year-old Dennis Hawkins of North Braddock was sitting in a parked car covered in red dye from an exploding packet and a bag of money when he was arrested Saturday. The police chief says Hawkins robbed the bank at gunpoint using a toy BB gun he had shoplifted. Probably the same story, got his pants and his fake boobs. Says he then entered the woman's car. She got out, took her keys, alerted police. Hawkins was found sitting in the car, currently being held on $230,000 in bail. And they don't know if he has an attorney. I'm assuming he should get one. But
I'm not a rocket scientist, but I'm thinking it would be an easy disguise to spot running down the street.
I'm thinking,
Get away.
I'm thinking, what kind of day are you having that possesses you to put on clown pants and fake breasts, and then sit in the car while the exploding dye packet goes off?
See,
but
that's where he blew it, was getting in a lady's car. If he had one of those little toy cars that 12 clowns used to cram into, if 12 of them pulled this off, they'd never be able to get a good ID on one of them, and they'd throw the case out. So I think he should have had a clown car.
All 12 could run in different directions, and they wouldn't know which one to chase.
Well, that chased the one with the boobs.
No, I said if they were all dressed alike.
Oh, dressed alike. Yeah, I don't listen to you much, so that's probably why I didn't get that.
You know, if they all had boobs, they probably couldn't get 12 in the car. They'd probably get 8 in the car if they had boobs. Because you have to consider the amount of square foot that the boobs would take up, depending on the size of the boobs. It's all about the boobage.
And the shoes being big.
And the shoes.
Yeah. Okay, so now that we're over that one, we can get back to
I've never dated a girl with shoes bigger than boobs.
Are you sure?
I'm trying to think that.
I don't think you've ever dated a girl with shoes or boobs, Jim.
Oh, no, I did date one with clown shoes, but she rode a Harley. Didn't last very long.
That would be hard to ride a bike with clown shoes, but hey, whatever. Anything's possible. Getting a date's possible, I guess. So let's see.
Things have happened.
All right, so the next item here is...
Clowns need love, too.
Yeah, don't they, though? Clowns are creepy. So let's see. There's a good one in here on dealing with citizens legally carrying a concealed weapon, which goes back to what we talked about the last show. But let's talk about...
3 shows we covered that. We beat that dead.
I don't think it's dead because I guess these people decided that it was important enough to talk about it again.
Okay.
So, citizen assistance and asking for it as a police officer. And what have you ever asked for citizen assistance, like if you're in the middle of an arrest or needing help doing something else? Or what do you guys think about when you ask for that assistance from a citizen, and what is that citizen obligated or not obligated to do?
Hello?
You know, I want to say there's something in there that...
That's a great answer when there's just dead silence.
No, I'm thinking, because the few times I've been involved in that situation, these citizens volunteered to help me. I didn't ask them to help me. They volunteered, which was very much appreciated. But I mean, if I was out there by myself, you know, with something, you know, where I'm getting my ass kicked or anything, and I tell someone to do something, I'm not sure if that's something I would really count on getting done in case it's someone that maybe isn't fond of the police or doesn't want to get involved.
Right. So the part that I was, in reading this thing that I dug up about this, what they're talking about, the officer asking for help or demanding help, and actually they're saying in here that some states actually have statutes in place that the officers can basically demand your assistance, and those people have to assist, which I have not heard of in California. Now,
I thought California had a code like that, if I remember correctly.
I think
it did have one where you can command citizens' assistance, and it's actually a crime not to assist them.
Man, I mean, just think about but I guess you have to think about that depending on the situation, obviously. But, you know, I could imagine that you end up getting it, you know, the whole thing turns to a big pile right there because you asked the wrong person for help.
But the only times that I've seen that situation come into play, it's not when the cop's able to ask somebody for help. It's when the cop's in a violent struggle, down on the ground, fighting somebody. You know, the news chopper captures it. You see people finally eventually run in to help. There was one struggle where this cop was fighting this guy for well over 3 or 4 minutes, and a couple of citizens finally went in to go help him. But most of the time, if you're in a fight for your life, you're not looking around to see who's there. You're not saying, help me, help me. You're in a fight for your life. And most of the time, hopefully, citizens will come in to help. Occasionally, you get the bad guy's friends coming in and helping them. But I've never seen a situation where an officer has an opportunity to ask somebody for help other than maybe saying, you know, get on my radio and call for backup or something like that. But I've never seen an officer ask somebody to help, physically get involved into a struggle or anything like that.
Yeah, I mean, it actually goes on to state in here that, some of these statutes allow for officers to arrest citizens who refuse or fail to come to their aid when so ordered. So I guess that comes down to knowledge of the person. Well, I guess if I was in that situation as a citizen, I would either want to help or not want to help, and hopefully offer my assistance before having to be asked, especially if the guy was getting his ass handed to him. But I mean, there's a lot of liability issues, the potential of the citizen not having the ability to actually help.
If the citizen got hurt trying to help, all of a sudden, who's going to pay for that lawsuit?
Well,
yeah, my situation was we had a report of a guy with a shotgun in a car, and it was in a Hispanic bar, and we went in to contact the responsible, and he went running out the front door, and I chased him out onto Willow Pass in the middle of the night and tackled him in the middle of the street, and the fight was on, and it was just me and him. My cover didn't know where I was, and all I put out was foot chase. I didn't get a chance to put out, where I was.
Was he wearing clown pants and fake boobs?
Different suspect. Different one.
So
Sorry.
Anyway, all I remember was my baton and everything was scattered all over the middle of the street, and I'm trying to get this guy's hair and slam his face into the pavement, and I remember this squealing tires of this car coming to stop like 2 feet away from us, and the driver jumps out and he says, "Officer, what can I do to help?" And I just looked at him, and I was so tired I couldn't even I could barely talk, and I said, "Get my handcuffs, and cuff him." And the guy helped me. He was a big help, but every now and then you see these heroic acts by citizens where, like maybe an officer's been shot and it's on the video cam that the citizen is using the radio to let dispatch know that they have an officer down, and a lot of times have been responsible for the officers' lives being saved from getting help there right away. But I think most officers are cautious to try and not get themselves into that situation. And if it does happen unexpectedly, I think I'd rather rely on someone offering to help rather than me ordering someone to help, because you just don't know what the outcome's going to be. You might be contributing to the problem by ordering the wrong person to help you out.
Well, that's because we don't arrest people in neighborhoods that have our friends. We arrest people in neighborhoods that have their friends, right? So, we're usually surrounded by people who already...
Are you okay, Brent? Sounded like you fell out of your chair there.
He hit his clown nose on the monitor of his computer.
His clown boobs.
Yeah,
His boobs are hitting the keyboard.
I push my chair out, and that's what I get. That's good. Okay, I see.
Kind of hard with those paddle feet, huh? Oh, my chair went halfway across the room.
Hey, I don't know what you're talking about, because I'm giving this podcast from jail. I'm in there for $230,000 worth of bail.
See, if you had those sound effects working, that'd be where you put the bicycle horn.
Oh, my God.
Hey.
Yeah, fucking room full of idiots. Okay, so...
Now when we call him Bozo, we can mean it.
All right, so moving right along, since it's pick on Brent time. Let's see. Man calls 911, leads to his own arrest. Let's see. I wonder if this is actually Mark's story, but I just stole it again. Let's see. Sorry, trying to load it up.
That happens a lot. People call 911 and they end up having a warrant.
Well,
Victims would come into the front lobby of the police department for help, and Ed would run them out for a warrant. He would arrest him and then say, "When you get out of jail, come back if you still want to file a report."
Hey, I used to work visiting at the jail, and people came in that were on parole to visit people who were in jail for parole violation.
I did run a gal one time who came in for a 261 report, and she came back with a warrant. Luckily, her 261 occurred in Concord, so I told her, "You better get over there before I arrest you for your warrant." But
now, if you explain what 261 is, Ed, you're going to make yourself look like a real ass.
Well, because it was a bogus report. I think she was like a defrauding the innkeeper type thing, where she was hoping payment for services rendered, and they never got the money.
Petty theft.
Right.
She said she was raped by a clown, right?
Right. Something like that, yeah.
Defrauding the innkeeper. That sounds very.
Was it 532 or something like that?
That's very interesting.
Yeah, take the food and run.
So let's see. A man called 911 early yesterday morning and claimed an armed man was threatening him and trying to break into his apartment. Officers reported they responded quickly with guns drawn to the call, whereupon the caller greeted them and exclaimed, "There is no gun. I just wanted you guys to get here quicker." The officer reported noticing the caller had alcohol in his breath and involuntarily dancing feet. Oh, I guess that's a new way to tell you if you're DUI.
Involuntarily dancing feet.
Happy feet. So,
I've never seen
the man
that
said
in a report.
So the real reason that he called was to complain about his neighbors who bang on his door and they think that he owns the building. Okay, so police said the caller then launched into a vicious tirade of racial epithets about how neighbor before them calmed him down. Okay, blah, 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 blah. So basically, arrested, charged with disturbing the peace, and then while being escorted to the car, the man was reported to exclaim, "Payback is a bitch, mother bleep, I call the cops every day, you guys need a real job." So, that's good. Don't live in Massachusetts. That's my answer to that one. My God, these people. So, let's see. That one's out of there. What else? Here's one that Jim should love. Should life sentences be abolished?
I think they should be increased.
So, the gist of the item in the news would be the impending parole of a 77-year-old man who is, after 43 years in federal prison for murdering a police officer. Let's see, U.S. Parole Commission. So basically, he's going to be paroled at 77, 43 years in jail. Oh, yeah, okay. So basically, he was put in jail because, obviously, removal of a violent monster from further opportunity to prey on society. But do you feel it is needed to continue to leave him in jail at 77, even after serving 43 years of a life sentence, or should he be able to be on parole? Well, I think I know the answer to this, right? Which is no.
He killed a cop?
Killed a cop.
What happened to the death sentence? Why is he still alive?
Yeah, see, death sentence is something that people believe at this point is already not going to happen anymore.
What,
so when was the last time in California?
Texas executes them pretty regularly, don't they?
Yeah, how about California? California, last execution was what, 8-10 years ago?
Yeah, because they're so sensitive that, the poor guy hurts a little bit when the injections go in, and he doesn't die instantly, and he's in a little bit of pain before he dies. So California being all sensitive and everything, yeah, they haven't executed somebody in a while.
So my
then
question,
I think they ought to parole this guy.
Do you think they
cut his legs off?
Do you think they swab the guy with alcohol before they give him the? No, never mind. So let's see. So question.
Too bad that didn't end up like the guy that he was driving a motorcycle drunk and he ran into a guy and his little girl, 9-year-old girl, and he killed the 9-year-old girl, and he just got sent to San Quentin last week to begin his sentence, and one of the big shots in the prison that has white power tattooed across his forehead stabbed the guy in the neck and the chest and killed him. So that they have their own little death sentence inside the prisons. Usually anything involving children, if a child molester gets sent to prison or somebody that killed the child, you better watch your back, because they don't like that.
Yeah, there's some great comments on this article. Like the first one that says, "Yeah, let's abolish it, life sentences, and make it automatic death penalty. For every POS that gets the automatic, save them up long enough, take them to the range, and use them for firearm qualifications."
Nice.
You gotta love some of the comments.
Well, the way you shoot, Brent, that could be a life sentence before you hit them.
And put a little compassion in it, dress him up in a clown suit.
Yeah, see,
Yeah, with big shoes.
the fun. Well, it makes it.
You might hit the boobs.
It does make it more fun if you're in clown pants. So yeah, that's funny, Mark, because I qualified last week. Expert, thanks. Yeah. So, how about you? Do you even have range?
Anytime you want to go to the range. Anytime you want to go to the range.
Yeah.
And does the old PD still have a range, or is it where do you got to go now?
We use the sheriff's department.
Oh, you do?
Oh,
that's too bad. We'll have to end that.
Or we could go to the pond in your gated community and shoot ducks there, Brent.
No need. You don't even need to come over, really, actually. It's cool. Just stay there.
All
I'll
right.
come over. We can shoot it out in front of your house like the West.
Sure.
Hey, I got a question for you guys. What's lynching in the penal code? What number?
Oh, my. Lynching.
What area?
In California Penal Code?
Yeah, where they're taking away the prisoner from you. What's that called? Is it lynching?
2 something, high 180s, 182, right there around conspiracy.
Is it? Okay, let me see.
I thought it was 403.
You know what? I think he's on to something. 403 sounds closer, down in the kidnapping area.
Everybody is searching now.
Nope, not me. I'm reading the next article that we're going to talk about. I just guessed.
It's been a while since I had to look up this stuff.
Why did that happen to you, Brent?
Lynching?
Brent got lynched?
Yeah.
Or licked?
If I was lynched, I wouldn't be on this today, I think. Let's see. So,
what do you say it is? 403?
Somewhere in there, I think. Might be in the 400s.
Yeah, 403 is, what is for? It's got it right here. Oh, it's a breaking up an assembly.
Oh.
I'm trying to look for that section. I know it's in the penal code somewhere where if an officer commands you to assist him, you're supposed to, or it's an arrestable offense. I know I've read it in the California penal code before. It's driving me crazy. It's one of those things I'll find as soon as the show's over with.
Well, maybe somebody out there will tell us what it is. That's why we got listeners.
Aren't you online, Brent?
Not me. No, I'm using Skype, but I'm not online.
Mark, here we go. Route.
It's tough because there's like 400 sections that describe lynching.
Taking by means of a riot of any person from the lawful custody of a peace officer is a lynching. That's 405A. So we're getting close.
Damn, Brent, you were close.
Told you.
Told you.
Hey, back to the show before we lose our listeners. Let's get to an interesting topic.
FBI warns of new cell phone scam.
Now, why don't we take why don't you flip
Reader
through our
question?
book? Why don't you flip through our book and stop at a page and see what the article is, and we can cover that.
Why don't we
do the reader question?
Let's do the reader question.
Okay, let's do the reader question.
Outvoted. Okay, so I'm going to read this reader question. The first 2 words have nothing to do with me. Got it? My boyfriend was arrested on a $700 warrant. I just saw it coming. I wanted to just get it out of the way.
You saw what?
Oh, God. Wow. Hi, I'm Mark. I'm 3. Mark's boyfriend was arrested on a $700 warrant.
Was he wearing clown shoes?
Clown pants. Okay, so
well, that would make you happy anyway.
Okay, so I'll take this on. Okay, my boyfriend.
God, I wish I had a clown horn right now.
Shut up.
I'll be right back.
Our poor listeners.
Want to try that again, Brent?
Okay.
Brent's boyfriend.
My boyfriend was arrested on a $700 warrant for tickets. That bastard. He didn't receive a court notice, of course, and therefore didn't go to court. How long will he probably have to be in jail if he's not bailed out? Let's use California as an example.
Up to 72 hours.
And probably a lot less, right? Or would he actually go in front of the judge? So you're saying like a weekend, right?
Yeah, he could be held till the next court date if he's arrested on a warrant.
So goes in on a Friday, comes out on a Monday after he talks to the judge.
Yep.
So potential of 3 days, but on a normal weekday, really the next morning, more than likely.
And tell your loser boyfriend that's what you get for giving a bogus address when you get booked and not giving a current address to the court.
Are you talking about my boyfriend?
Yamaha
No, that was for Brent to tell his boyfriend.
Okay, good, thanks.
or Goldwing?
So $700 warrant. That's like what? 2 speeding tickets maybe out here?
It's like, well,
That's a red
the way
light.
they've raised all the court fees lately, it could be one big speeding ticket and a failure to appear.
Right, which he would have gotten because of the no court notice.
Right. So she's all worried how long he's going to be in jail. Don't worry, he's already back home, and they're already
Happily ever after.
exactly.
Yeah.
So
So I guess I should ask him for a copy. I'll send them a copy of the book if they want one.
why he didn't give a good address for the courts? Why would he give you a good address for the free book?
Well, if it gets returned, we'll know he's guilty.
Yeah, basically, little traffic infractions, you're not going to be in there long. Misdemeanors, you could be in there a little while, but with all the jail overcrowding,
Murder, you're in there for like a week.
Sheriff's
Then you're out.
Jim being with the sheriff's department knows with all the overcrowding and cutbacks, even misdemeanors. First, they're lucky to even prosecute a misdemeanor. Number two, if you're in jail for a misdemeanor, you're out in no time. It's the felonies are going to do, a little bit of time. And
I can't see someone getting hooked on a $700 warrant.
I remember when we wouldn't even take him at all for under 15.
Oh,
Let
here
me
we
tell
go.
you another story
I hear it
about
coming.
Ed. Here, I got to tell you a story about Ed and warrants. Ed,
$50. Oh, you're going to jail.
we would start our shift. I think what, at 5 o'clock.
Stat's a stat.
Yeah, right.
Let me finish here.
Baby.
Ed hated being on the street so much that the minute we went 10-8, he would, it was like clockwork. Within a minute, 29 on 4. He would find a group of people or stop a car and start running them out. If it was a $25 warrant, that guy's going to jail.
Awesome.
Ed figured that it would get him off the street for at least 2 hours.
No, you're kind of blowing that. That was you trying to get into the canine car with the dog. Take you 2 hours to get out the back lot.
No, we didn't have a booking officer. We didn't have a booking officer, so Ed would you'd be gone for a couple hours.
Well, no, I wasn't that bad, but
Hit the Starbucks over in the jail city, and yeah, and then he'd come.
What city was that?
Almost spit one out there, and then he'd come back and do it all over again.
Well, we had stats back in those days where we I wanted to be the leader of the squad, so I wanted to make sure I had the most arrests. It didn't matter if we had misdemeanors, felonies, warrants, or in felony and custodies. It was a stat. So I'd pop 30 or 40 warrants a month, and I'd be the top dog of the.
They're not stats, Ed. They're performance evaluations.
Well, before that was before profiling too. But it's we're talking way back in the early '90s.
I see one. Confirm the charge. That'll be fishing without a license.
No, Ed had one for dog walking.
Parking in a school zone.
Yeah, that was back when I had the SO do a hand check, and it came over to $32 dog tag. So.
Dude, this ain't your day.
So I hooked and booked the old bad boy. I took him back down to, I cited him out, but it was a stat. $32 is a stat. It's a judge's order to take that person into custody, and I have to obey that order of the judge.
It's a stat. And meanwhile, the guy that has to cover Ed's beat while Ed's doing the little doggy ticket thing gets the major paper out of Ed's beat.
Dude, that totally sucks for you.
Could you see being an inmate in room 9 being booked, and you look to your right, and there's this clown with red dye all over him from the money exploding, and you say, "Hey, bozo, what are you in here for?" And the guy says, "Bank robbery." Then you ask this big dude to your left, "What are you in here for?" And the guy says, "Murder." Then they ask you what you're in there for. Walking my dog without a license.
I've heard that happen, or at least almost that, working the jail. What are you in here for? Parking ticket.
Yeah. But it was a numbers game.
Ed arrested me.
I can remember a tug of war in the backseat of the patrol car trying to get a body out of one door to the other because the other guy wanted the arrest stat, and we're tug of war on this guy in the back seat who's going to take him into custody because he had a felony warrant. That had kept us, like Mark says, busy for a couple hours.
He's mine.
Exactly.
You guys, Let me just go do something else, and you can arrest me twice. There you go.
The unit fighting with another unit at 9th and Railroad. Please answer up to dispatch. We have a concerned citizen calling.
Somebody please call us. We don't know what the hell's wrong with you guys.
See, now, in a situation like that, if one cop is first to ask a citizen for help, and then they kick the other cop's ass, is that lawful for the citizen to aid the first officer?
Sergeant, it's $35. A stat is a stat. That's all I got to say.
There it is.
So, Jim, you saw this thing last night when I posted it up. This is totally sort of off the subject of police, but very cool since we have motorcycle people listening to this.
It was a Yamaha, right?
No, sadly it was a BMW, but
it wasn't a Harley.
Fully outfitted firefighting vehicle.
Very cool.
It has to be the coolest thing I've seen in a while. So there's going to be, there's a link to a video on the site. It's of course in the UK because they do everything much cooler over there. But,
dude, and they were using it at a vehicle crash that turned into a vehicle fire. It was awesome.
And they used, and that's all that thing is basically a fancy pressure washer with water on board. But man, it has foam and the whole deal. So who rolls an engine anymore? Just ride your bike. You're good to go.
See, now if it had been a Harley, they never would have been able to get the fire pump started. Citizens would have been in an uproar saying, do something, do something.
I can't. I just slipped.
I can't. It's a Harley.
I slipped on the Yamaha oil. I can't get out.
It couldn't have been a Yamaha because they use those just for mosquito fogging.
Oh, man. But no, that is a pretty cool new tool in the arsenal for fire department. They've been doing EMS and a bunch of other stuff on motorcycles in the UK for a long time. So I think the main issue is to get through traffic quickly, which is a good point. I mean,
you just don't want to be on the gurney that the motorcycle's towing.
Oh, yeah. That would be a bitch. Okay, so...
Did you say the B word on the radio?
I just did.
Well, that's female dog, too, so...
Yeah. And, never mind. So, $12 prison memberships for NAACP. Somebody gave this item to us. Feel free to discuss it. I'm not touching this with like a 10-foot pole.
Ed?
I think I sent it to you. I thought it was very nice of them to offer such a discount to their people who want to join.
So I believe that the normal membership is what? The normal membership is like double that?
How much did you pay, Ed?
How much did you pay? Oh, so Ed paid $30. Ed paid $30.
No, for me it's $50.
$50.
No, but
you're a supporter, and so you're like a vendor. Is that why?
Yeah, I sell memorabilia for them.
That's all.
Brent, can you put Ed's website out there for everyone?
Yeah, Ed's on a membership drive.
Yeah, no kidding.
It's a numbers thing.
I just thought it was pretty interesting that you would actually get members out of the prison.
And that's a stat.
That is pretty interesting.
A membership's a membership? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it is. It is. No matter how you get one, I guess it is.
Yeah,
And they vote in prison, too, so.
They buy houses in prison.
Well, they get Social Security in prison, too. Go to the Social Security website. It says, if you're in prison, please click on this link. So,
yeah, we discussed
they
that
have sex with clowns in prison.
Yeah, I know.
For free.
So I've read.
Yeah.
All right, so that's just so you were just telling us that because that's good news for anybody who wants to join that's in prison, right?
Absolutely. I mean, it gives them a break, and you don't have to put too much money on their books to get them a membership at the NAACP.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
So here it is highly recommending membership, right?
You could get
Absolutely.
You can get the NAACP membership and like 12 Twix bars for $20. You're good to go.
Right.
Awesome.
And if you order now, we have a special where you get a free pair of clown shoes when you order the next 15 days.
Well, it used to be 3 Snickers bars for a puff off a cigarette, but I don't know what it is now.
Wow. I think inflation has hit the jails because I think it's higher than that now.
Is it? Yeah, that was back in the early 90s when I was working the pods.
So, Mark, you brought up this FBI warns of new cell phone scam that targets your bank account. Do you want to talk about this one? This one is actually kind of complex.
I'll let you cover it since you got it right in front of you. I don't have it right in front of me. Yeah, but that is interesting.
So the FBI is warning consumers to be on the alert for scammers who tie up their phone lines while emptying their bank accounts. So basically, it's called a telephone denial of service attacks. They're similar to ones that have been used by hackers for years to crash websites by basically flooding them with too much internet traffic. But high-tech criminals are now using automated dialing programs and multiple accounts to overwhelm the phone lines of unsuspecting consumers and small and medium-sized businesses. Man, this would be curious because we got some weird calls at our place. So this part's for Jim. The denial of service calls, which can include dead air, advertisements, or phone sex menus, are actually diversionary tactics designed to tie up the phone line. And while the lines are busy, the fraudsters impersonating the victims raid their bank accounts, online trading, and other money management accounts through their phones, which is really scary. So to give you an idea, my phone, which is a smartphone, has the ability to tie into my bank, all of my accounts, if I download the applications for it, all this different stuff. So this is a entirely new yet unexplored security breach when it comes to banks, and I don't think banks are doing enough about it. But let's see, what else do we got?
The criminals are always one step ahead, and they figure out when they.
Where'd you get that? Your bedroom?
That was the dead air of Jim hunting that down.
No, that was out of the sex toys box.
Yeah, no kidding. Here, honey, put on the clown nose.
I'll give you a blow. Well, I'll leave it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, don't put that one.
The same city that Mark was talking about.
Hey, I found the section, by the way, too. It's PC 150.
150?
150. Every able-bodied person above 18 years of age who neglects or refuses to join the posse comitatus or power of the county by neglecting or refusing to aid and assist in taking or arresting any person against whom there may be issued any process, or by neglecting to aid and assist in retaking any person who, and yada, 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 you'll be fined $50.
Oh, no.
Dude, it costs more than $50 to do the print and the penal code.
$50. That's.
No, it's what's it say here? It says the punishable by fine not less than $50 and more than $1,000.
Oh,
but there is a section in there. It's a misdemeanor.
Is it a misdemeanor?
So. Yeah, it's a misdemeanor.
Wow.
Man, that would screw my day.
Yeah. So
Possibly.
any able-bodied peace officer telling you that in uniform, you're supposed to assist them.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, that is kind of interesting and kind of scary.
It's a very lightly used section, I would say.
Especially where Mark and I used to work, or where I used to work. I wouldn't dare call anybody over to help me. They'd hit me on the back of the head with something.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is
Schoolcraft asshole, the one that arrested me for walking my dog without a tail. Screw you, Schoolcraft.
Hey, it's that turd who arrested me for $32 warrant. Get him!
Oh my!
So Schoolcraft, you're a very bad man.
Thank you.
The show takes one step forward and two steps back.
Yeah, that was 2 steps back, but that's good.
Well, pretty soon you're going to have me talking about the exorcism I did on Halloween night, but we'll save that for later.
Oh, yeah, that's another show.
I'm not going to be able to sleep tonight wondering about that one.
I think the statute of limitations is over with for me, so I could discuss it with you, but...
Oh, man. Okay, so before we get to the exorcism, let's finish this FBI thing. So...
Are we doing an exorcism?
Yes. On the show. Just so you knew. You were gone there for a while picking up your clown nose, so we just want to get you back on what we're going to here.
Basically, when Jim's listening to the 27 hours and answering the 27 hours of sex calls that's coming into his phone, somebody's draining his bank account. Oh, boy.
I don't even want to know what that last sound was.
Hey, you got sound effects from the Three Stooges?
It's what happens when you give Jim a smartphone. That's what it is. That's
what happens when you give a dumb person a smartphone.
Wow, that was kind of funny, Mark.
All right. So, anyway, why don't you close it up?
All of this starts with social engineering tactics at the beginning. Social engineering being that of being able to extract information from people, and they don't even know that they're giving that information up. So
various ways. We've covered that where people are sending the spoof emails and different things.
Have you seen the commercial on TV that says, "Hey, this is not a real bank," and the people start going in there, and the guy starts asking him all these questions like mother's maiden
name. He goes, "We'll give you $500 to open an account.
$500 to open an account. Oh, by the way, is it briefs or boxers?" And the guy goes, "Boxers." Yeah,
it's amazing the personal information people give out, and what these people are doing with these phones is they're getting enough information where they're tying up the person's phone lines so the banks cannot verify, the withdrawal amounts or whatnot, and then the crooks are calling the bank saying, "Hey, this is so and so, I authorize it," and by the time you realize it, it's too late. So the crooks are always one step ahead. I saw on the news tonight they're actually targeting pharmaceutical now stuff. They're prescriptions. They're stealing information to get refills on Oxycontin, Vicodin, and a lot of the painkillers.
I like Vicodin.
And they're actually billing it to the patient's
I like Vicodin.
record.
$750.
Yeah, they're stealing all that information, and they're working on all the painkillers. They're always one step ahead.
So you're saying that they're tying up so that the bank or whoever cannot call them back and get the confirmation, correct?
Correct. They're jamming the phone lines to where the bank is unable to get through, and then they're calling the bank and posing as a customer to authorize the withdrawals.
They are just so crafty.
Yeah, well, there's no lack of smart ways to get around stuff. When you sit in jail for a long time. Hey, Jim, do you have any bank stuff on your phone? Like access your bank account?
He's going to have to wade through all the porn stuff.
I'll have to call him. I'll call him later. It's like a cartoon in here.
I gotta say, Jim could keep himself amused for hours.
So, Ed, you gave us this thug report.
I mean, he got me hooked on clowns. I just can't wait to do a search for clowns after the show's over.
Clowns riding Yamahas.
Yeah.
They have female
Actually,
clowns?
if you Google clowns with big breast, you'll probably come up with all kinds of stuff.
Oh, I'm pretty sure that's a fetish somewhere.
I can't wait.
How about www.thugreport.com there, Ed?
Here, let me pull it up for you, and I'll read a couple of the Thug report.
Let's hear the best from the Thug Report for this week, and we can round the show out with that, because God help us, it's not getting any better.
Okay, this is the one on Locked Up Lohan, and I'm reading this off the Thug Report website. Drunk starlet, this is judge one too many times, gets 90 days in jails plus 90 rehab, locks up.
I like the sound effects there.
You do?
That's the accent. That's not sound effects.
Accent, yeah.
And then if you want thuggerific videos, you can click here, so you can see thuggerific.
What is the Thug Report?
The Thug Report is like the Drudge Report, but it's about thugs.
Ah, so basically anybody that's somewhat famous that is.
No, it's about urban crime news straight from the hood.
No.
And that's exactly what it says on the website.
Yeah, Brent, since you live in a gated community, it's about undesirables.
Got it. I don't know what the hood is,
Brent.
so
Bad people.
I get it.
It's not the hood on the car, but anyway, they give you the body count here. It's a 2010 body count. LA's got 160 dead, New York City 237, Chicago 250, on down the line. And then they give you an explanation about the Thug Report. It's pretty interesting, actually. Somebody would take this time to go through all this stuff, and I'm just dying to know what their readership numbers are. But
it's probably disgustingly high. That's the amazing.
Yeah. It says new Seattle killer is slow learner. Well, I imagine so, because he was out killing people. He couldn't learn the right thing to do.
Wow, there are some winners on this website.
Oh, I looked at that website. There's
Yeah.
all kinds of stuff on there. It's amazing.
Funny. You can laugh at it or you can cry.
It does. It definitely takes on the Drudge Report look, though. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it does.
Hey, Jim, I just sent you a message. Look at your screen.
Oh, God, I can only imagine.
The UGA athletic director is boozing and skanking. Polo purse snatcher. New sentencing for King Sinbad, whoever he is.
What was the number in Chicago of?
Oh, Chicago dead is 250 so far.
Yeah, so they're talking. Oh, this was in 2008. So they said 40.
2010.
Yeah, in 2008, 40 people shot in a span of 59 hours.
Oh yeah, that was wasn't that recently?
It says it was in April of 2008. they're talking about we'll talk about this next week. Is this issue of people just basically blasting each other every day in Chicago? And
that's because they have really tough gun laws there.
I mean,
how many of those were people that got shot in the back of the head with a Pillsbury dough wad?
They don't got many blondes that live in there, I guess.
This is the article. It's part of a 3-piece series, so we'll have to talk about that next time.
This silence by Jim is dangerous.
Oh no, it just means that some dumb noise will come out of the phone.
That's what I'm saying. It's dangerous. He's hunting for something.
So we can do this like this. Jim, how would you like to end the show?
Hang on, Mark sent me this link about clown breasts.
Oh. All I saw was a headline saying a clown chokes himself and grows female clown boobs.
I'll be there in a minute. You guys start. I'll be there in a minute.
Okay, so on that note,
I didn't open it up. I don't know what it is. So Jim obviously opened up the article.
Yeah, now it's
watching
computer.
a movie the other night, and they documented.
Jim's probably watching a movie.
No, they have a disorder called CMD. It's chronic masturbation disorder.
Oh God, Jim's got that.
Well, Ed's bringing it up, so maybe Ed has it too.
I think anybody who says they don't have it's lying. So.
Well, that Viagra costs too much. I can't be doing that stuff anymore.
They could be a sponsor here. We could have this all covered.
They get Viagra and Cialis sponsoring
I
this
told
site.
you, Brent, that'll get a rise out of you.
Yeah, and you're close to the border. We can get it for half the price.
Yeah, I can just sneak past it and hope the Z comes the way.
So on the
we're
note of
only,
the fact that Jim is going to be tied up for at least a minute, and
I think we're the only 4 listeners on the show anyway left. So
well, you know, I really do this show only to listen to myself talk anyway. So it's you okay there, Jim?
That's
I'm
me.
all right.
Okay, good. So now that Jim's back, we can.
I think Jim's chair just slipped out from underneath.
It's really
All
kind of that's a terrible thought. I don't want to think about that for the rest of the evening. Thanks.
Oh.
Here's another headline on the Thug Report: Tacoma killer in the pen. So that's.
Are you reading that way, or are you adding in your own little?
No. I'm reading it just the way it's spelled. Tacoma killer in the pen.
Yeah.
In the pen.
In the pen, and it's killer. It's Killa. So the killer in the pen.
So you're saying that this Thug Report might be poking fun?
Well, that or they don't know how to spell. One or the
Okay.
other.
Yeah, I'm thinking it might be both.
Ambulance thief in the pen.
Ambulance. Ambulance.
Let's not go there.
Yeah, let's change.
We're not going to go there. So I'm going to say we'll move a few things to next week. A couple of local stories. The concealed carry thing we'll go into just for one last time. And
why don't we cover a couple of topics out of the book? We've kind of gotten away from covering some of the topics. We'll throw a topic or two from the book in there.
We will do that. And if anybody actually got a free copy of the book from us, because we've been sending them out, and has a topic that you want to hear more about, why don't you go shoot us an email or post something on the site.
If you order a book now, Brent will throw in a pair of fake boobs that'll include with the book.
You order a book now, I might hand bring it to you in clown pants and fake.
Yeah, I might order a book just to see that.
As long as we can have a freaking gun battle in your front yard, I'm good to go. So,
there needs to be more female clowns. I'm just
Jim's
saying.
like 10 minutes back.
I'll send you some links, Jim. You'll be all good to go. So,
I think that's his new ringtone.
Until next week, go to our site, CopTalk.info, where you can hear clown ringtones, Jim Lambert, Mark Lambert, and Ed.
You know,
Oh, I'm fitting to fall out here.
That thing is totally out of control.
you know, when you watch fireworks, there's always the finale at the end. I think this is Jim's finale.
Well, good. Then we'll fade it out with music and make it all go away. Then.
All right.
All right.
Stay safe. Stay away from Jim.
Until next week, and more
Hey, you
clown
guys be
noises
safe
from
out there.
Jim.
Ed, it was fun.
Yeah, fun too. I'll talk to you later.
Yeah, and
Catch it up with the Iron Warriors for Jim's comments and tell them they're welcome back.
Yeah, don't forget if there's anybody out there who rides Harleys, not Yamahas, and you're a cop or a firefighter and you like good riding, look us up, ironwarriors.com or ironwarriorsmcnation.com. And
yeah, looking it up is going to be all you can do because Lord knows you won't be able to actually ride with them. But
I thought you were going to say you won't be able to start it up.
Or you could join Jim's group.
Pull it up on the website and read about it.
You could join Jim's group, the AARP Gold Wing Riders of America.
And they usually get towed by our trikes anyway, so.
Oh.
Anyway, we'll see y'all next week. Stay safe.
He could always ride on the back. He could ride on the back of Ed's bike.
Only if he wears a clown suit with big boobs.
Oh, that would be awesome. All right. See everybody next week.
All right. See ya.